Ooh, I don't know if have I ever picked that one before?
Ooh, you haven't. I'm very curious.
A new one? Wow.
Very curious.
What are you up to, 29 on those lipsticks?
Do we want to do that again? This Friday? No, I'm just kidding. We will do that. I have more. I got a bunch of free samples, and I wonder how many more are in there, because there's like way more than last. How many were last time? Like 19? 18? Guess how many lip glosses Steph has in her bag.
Well, I think I kind of ratted it out there a little, but those of you watching on YouTube will have a little advantage on that.
But you know what, really, what did you do? No, I added a lot more. There's a bunch now.
That's what I mean. I kind of ratted that out.
Ratted what out?
That you have more in there. So those that are watching on YouTube will have a better shot at guessing.
This one is called, it's from MAC. It's called Lip Glass, and it's called Lip Child.
I remember you had 17, and your mom guessed the most, and she didn't even guess halfway because she only guessed 8.
But she wasn't allowed to win.
Yes.
But you know what? I had a great gift I wanted to share with everyone in case they wanted to dress like a tinsel from a Christmas tree, and I can't move it over because I got my typing up for...
Or you can look at it this way. You did twice as better than your mom even thought you were going to do on that.
Are we still talking about lip gloss count? All right, well, stay tuned. Maybe in a week or two, we'll do a game of how many lip glosses are in here, and we'll give away some Chili gift cards with custom-made tin can as the gift card holder. They can also be a pencil holder.
Wow.
So, our viewers, share us so that way your family and friends can partake in the lip gloss extravaganza.
Stephanie's on the arts and craft division.
Stephanie's been locked inside for way too freaking long. That's what's happening. All right, we're going on Facebook. Stop talking. I like being dramatic.
Funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday, live at 5 on Newswire, on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and share us all over our world, or your world. And check out today's, because we got some fun stuff coming up.
You can actually hear us today, I think.
What? It's like we're doing something right around here.
Yeah, we're actually.
That's scary.
Yes.
Of that.
On a
Taco Tuesday!
Wow, we got it right today. Actually, we got it in on the inside. We've been kind of slipping on that, especially on the first part of the show.
Yeah, we usually do.
On that, but
you're always dropping that ball.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm here to support you.
Oh, yeah. You should have heard the support, last night.
Hey, our viewers will thank me for that.
Lots of stuff coming up on the deal. Man, the news just rock and rolls. Trump got a setback in the Supreme Court. Samuel Alito denied his case going forward in Pennsylvania. It looks like about the only one left is the Texas one, which I think concludes Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota, I think. Of that, the time's clock's running out on Trump. He's going to have to pull a miracle out of the hat at one of these courts to do it. I mean, it looks like at about 99.999% of the chance that Joe Biden's going to be sworn in as president in the United States January 20th, 2021. I sympathize with you. I'm almost ready to join you in crying on that one.
What? You can do that?
Yes, it's getting close. I mean, we'll have a lot of time to debate that and everything else going on, but there's a lot of stuff going on what's on your mind?
On my mind? Me? Oh, wow, I see what you're doing here. You're a jerk. What's on my mind is keeping the show running and keeping it going. That's what's on my mind. Let's get into, you want to get into the Teacher of the Year or Chad Bianco?
Let's let's get Teacher of the Year out of the way just for a beginning, because we were so jam-packed yesterday on that. We didn't have enough time. We didn't get to the BB gun story and the Teacher of the Year. Now we're going to play this without any audio on it.
That takes away from the whole.
Because this is this teacher who come completely unhinged. Up in Oregon, there were some lockdown, COVID, this whole thing, protesters. They weren't liking it. Whatever, you're right. Peaceful protest. Actually, the ones that are, tell me the ones that have been against the lockdowns or COVID that have had any trouble with the police or anything else. Here is a psycho teacher.
No, Teacher of the Year.
Teacher of the Year.
Do we have to cut all audio though? We do, huh?
Yes, because
be quick enough.
I'm gonna do just a scant portion of it.
Yeah, so that way they can kind of fill out the vibe.
We're not on AM radio, so it isn't.
All right, hang on.
She uses the F word
constantly.
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
See the middle finger? You can see the FUs and this, that. She's screaming at the top of her lungs, as you can see her going across, just telling these people, you're going to kill everyone, you're doing that, da-da-da-da-da. There you go with the middle finger again. I mean, how many? She used the double middle fingers waving.
At one point, she drives off. At one point, she tells the crowd to go kill yourself. Then she's boasting and bragging how she's a teacher.
Well, she is a suspended teacher, according to reports.
But honestly, she is how I feel right now. Not like, to rioters or people standing on the street. But that right there is how people are starting to feel by being locked inside.
Please don't go to that extreme.
I'm trying not to, but the world is driving people to that. This is just the beginning. This is one person that got caught on camera. You know how many people are like that in the world right now?
This is what we discussed yesterday. We discussed the lady from Pineapple Hill, Barn Saloon in Sherman Oaks.
Right.
Who, $100,000 probably, well, $80,000 just to do outdoor dining. Now they're shutting her down, plus all the lost business. While the Hollywood guys were three times as much, and they're allowed to do that, and that's safe, as she pointed out. And then we went across from coast to coast in New York City, and the man who was part of the bar there that allegedly ran over the cop with a car, or hit a cop with a car of that. Again, you're seeing the frustration everywhere across this deal. I mean, the idiotic frustration of the Teacher of the Year, and the frustration of people seeing their lives falling apart.
Right.
They're seeing their futures getting flushed right down the old toilet bowl. And this is what has been worrying me. I've been seeing exactly what you're talking about. And I hope you don't go off the deep end like Teacher of the Year did.
I really hope I don't, but I have that thing. You can relate to that feeling.
I can see that in people all the time. You can see they're just at the public meetings.
They're getting frustrated.
You're going to see some clips we're going to play from the Board of Supervisors. And we're not going to play the Board of Supervisors. We're going to play the people that, again, stepped up to the plate and came down there and talked and addressed the board. And, again, you're just seeing this frustration. I've always said this. The most dangerous living thing is any living thing that doesn't have nothing to lose. They will resort, when you don't have nothing to lose, you will resort to practically anything. And it's absolutely incredulous
Go ahead and take the mouse away whenever you need to.
of what's going on. No, I'm just pontificating, as I usually do. And again, that's what the biggest concern of that. And if Joe Biden gets in and his 100-day mask mandate and the mandatory vaccine, which basically is going to be, I mean, they're going to say you can't go anywhere, do anything, go to work, kids go to school, go to a concert, restaurant, or something, unless you get this vaccine. This is not going to end well all across the board. The people are going to, they've just had it. They're looking at this. They're looking for our officials do something.
They really are, because I mean, there's no reason, even if she disagreed with whoever's out there, why can't you just have a conversation? Why can't you just talk about it? Why do you need to yell and scream? You know, like, the world shouldn't have to ever get to that point to where that's what you need to do to feel like you need to be heard.
But we've had the Antifa, the Black Lives Matter, the whole.
But even with that,
rioting.
Have a conversation.
They don't. It's not about having a conversation.
Well, they need to learn. They'll get a lot further if they learn to communicate than to scream and break and burn and destruct.
That's why it is imperative, and I reiterated it again, and many others did, but I think, and I was the last one to speak, I think, and I think I wrapped it up. I said, and we're going to get to the other people that spoke too, who had some very compelling stories, but I tried to wrap up their story, and I said, you need to stop playing Gavin Newsom's game. He's running the show. You're talking about it. You're all having nice conversations about it, or this, or we can, or we can, or we can't. It's getting to the point where, and I don't want to see it. I've lived through, starting with the Watts riots in LA and the Black Panthers and the things in the 60s and the ambush killings in the 70s of cops in Riverside, and on and on and on. I've seen the strife of the Vietnam War and all that's went through and what this country's went through. And that might be a walk in the park if we don't stop this. And why I wanted to run, and we just didn't get to Teacher of the Year, Psycho Teacher, yesterday. But just what Stephanie is saying. I mean, she's feeling the same thing. You just want to go out there and scream at somebody.
Right.
And grab them by the throat, theoretically, and say, fix this. You know,
But it's not even that I want to go and scream. Well, I mean, probably our governor, for sure. I would love to do that with. But it's just, there's too much. It's too much to take. I mean, just to go to the store really quick and go get lunch and then come back. My kid's sitting at the computer crying because he feels like his teacher's going to get mad if he turns off his camera to eat lunch. He can't turn off his camera to eat lunch. And then I told him, no, turn it off. You need to eat lunch. Like, I mean, he's not going to get in trouble. He puts a lot of pressure on himself, but I'm a single mom that needs to go to the frickin' store during the day. And I have to take 4 kids with me, which that's fine. I love my kids. We go everywhere together. But he shouldn't be crying over trying to eat lunch really quick to get back to class. He should be in his classroom with his classmates and having lunch and not be all over the place with Zoom meetings and all this other shenanigans. Right?
Here's Charisse at the Board of Supervisors meeting coming up on this. Here we go.
God asked me to start going to church a few weeks ago. I went not knowing why, but now I know. God, please give me the strength to say what I have to say today. One of the medical conditions of not wearing a mask is that you've been raped or molested as a child. I thought the reason why I relived my abuse was because of the way it happened to me. The person held my mouth so I couldn't breathe and couldn't scream. So every time I wear this mask, I relive it. As I confided in a few of my girlfriends, they said that they too experienced it, reliving their rape, and it was not the same circumstances. 1 in 4 women are raped in this country. 1 in 4 women have been raped in this country. And every time you guys ask them to wear a mask, you're asking them to relive that situation. A friend of mine said that Gavin, Whitmore, and Kumo and others get off on getting caught not wearing a mask so that they can show their power to everybody else. An 11-year-old child hung herself the other day in Riverside County. I thought, how could someone that young experience that much pain? And then I realized my pain that I experience every day for 9 months. I'm going to pray now, and some of you can pray with me if you want. Dear God, I pray that all the women and children who have had to endure this pain for the last 9 months are able to have comfort in your grace. I pray that these sheriffs and police have the strength to be the heroes and protect these women and children, not help in their abuse. And I pray that Gavin and others like him are saved.
They shut off the microphone on Charisse
Why?
at that point.
Was her time up? Is that what they're using?
Yes, I have brought up, and I have not gotten an answer yet. And in these circumstances where there's more speakers, they can limit the time, but they have done it when they didn't have the didn't have the right to do it. As I said, I do not know how those can sit up there, and the executive staff and the 5 of the supervisors can sit up there and hear these stories week after week, month after month, and they keep coming, and they do nothing.
How can you shut off a mic to a woman that's having that moment?
Ask.
I mean, and on one hand, I understand it. The time's up. Let's follow the rules. But if you're going to shut off the mic for one person, do it for all the people, not just when it's playing the song that you want to hear.
Ask that question of Chairman of the Board of Riverside County Supervisor's Office, Victor Manuel Perez. Ask the other 4 why, and I have asked for the motion to be put on there, that 3 supervisors can override the policy that says the chairman runs the meeting and there's nothing the other 4 can do about it. If you don't...
Who's the chairman?
Victor Manuel Perez, the
Got it.
guy sitting in the Senate. He's a 4th district supervisor who basically represents
But how
the
could they
lower
sit there
district.
and not cry to that?
I don't know.
How are they not in I'm almost in tears.
It's
That's
as I
heartbreaking.
said, and I've said the last 3 times I've been up there, it's tough for me to listen
Right.
to that. And they can sit there and do nothing. While Gavin Newsom pulls the strings, locks us down again when it didn't work before, it ain't gonna work again. You still have Dr. Kaiser in there as the county health official, which said all this stuff was going to come, and if we wore masks, we were only going to have 200 deaths, and if we didn't do anything, we'd have 1,500 or 1,000. We got 1,500 or 1,000 anyway, doing the masks and all that other stuff that they've said. And mask wearing and social distancing and ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It ain't working, but we're going to try it again.
And again, that's where I go to. We need to just allow it to be other people's choice. To wear masks, to go out in public, to live a life that they were born to live.
Here's the next person that I have up on that we're gonna have run a soundbite for. Here we go.
Stomping on your constituents' American rights and liberties. As you can see, I'm back because my words fell on deaf ears. So today, as I again show you what a backbone looks like, I am addressing you, Dr. Kaiser, and you alone. Do you remember why you became a doctor? I ask you this because I want you to remember that young whippersnapper that desire to help others. So I ask another question. Do you remember the oath you took when you became a doctor? You know, the one where you promised that you would prescribe regimen for a good for your patients according to your ability and your judgment and never do harm to anyone? To please no one, you will prescribe a daily drug, nor give advice that may cause death. You, Dr. Kaiser, did not keep that promise. You prescribed this shutdown and continued when you knew the truth. You advised the county to continue to lock our children out of the classrooms and off their fields, all the while knowing that the risk to them was damn near non-existent. You allowed this to continue knowing that the teenage suicide in our county was rising faster than the COVID numbers, and that acted as a deadly drug and caused harm to these 11 children. You encouraged these restrictions, which in turn caused the death to these children. Look at these 11 tombstones, 11 children from the Corona-Norco Unified District that will never walk the halls that they left March 13th, the day they left willingly because it was for the greater good. Their blood is on you, and unfortunately, there will be more as long as we stay the way we are and you keep prescribing this fear-mongering narrative. Even after the science and professionals who are far more qualified than you, with many more letters following their name, have said that we are doing far more harm than good, you sit here and encourage the shutdown, spew numbers at the public, purposely trying to scare them into submission. How about you tell your residents that Riverside County that in the winter months, hospitals typically run 85 to 90% capacity? How about you tell us why, after decades of tracking the flu every year, that the CDC is not tracking influenza this year? Tell us the truth. How about you tell the residents that the CDC has tested blood from a blood drive December 13th through the 16th of 2019, 39 samples in all, and all 39 had COVID-19 antibodies. Explain to me how that's possible that we had the antibodies and China didn't even have the first patient. Better yet, explain to me.
There you go with the mic shutting off again. After you're hearing that story.
Because their time was up again? Why don't they tell them, give them the warning? Do they not do that there?
Well,
I mean, I see it up on the screen, your time's almost up or whatever, but
they don't give you, and a lot of
sometimes
places
they beep it or whatever.
At the Marina Valley School District, they give you a button or a boom the 30 seconds. But when you at 30 seconds,
Right.
But most of these, I mean, I know the procedure. I'm looking at the clock. I've done this enough. I mean, that's just, I know how, I've done it enough times. I can maneuver around it, or I know how to put or concisely make it, or make the points I need in whatever time I got. Most people don't, but their stories are compelling.
Right.
And
now, how many speakers did they have, though? Why can't they
I'm probably thinking 30 showed up today.
Why can't they at least let them get their point across really quick? I mean, if there's not that many, do they ever do that? I'm just curious out of my own.
Really?
I've been to the district and the city ones, but never
really,
to
at this point, again, what more? I mean, we can sit here and talk about it till the cows come home. That ain't getting it done. Newsom's out of control. Recall Gavin 2020. I mean, and they sit there and do nothing. They can't even pass a resolution, which really means nothing. Just pass a resolution in support of the Kylie Gallagher lawsuit, knocking down Newsom's authority, which a California state justice ruled he had exceeded his authority to issue these executive orders. They can't even do that. They just talk about it. Oh, we're listening to you. It's like, oh, we'll give you a cookie or let you vent your frustrations and then move along.
Right.
They're treating us like 3-year-olds.
Stephen writes in on Facebook, Roy wants action.
We're going to play this last clip before we go on to KMET from...
He does, Stephen. I agree.
Constitution. The suicide rates are at an all-time high because of social distance measures. Children are taught human contact and affection is bad. Prolonged use of masks harm kidneys and the teeth because they use pesticides, plastics, synthetics, dyes, and the material you are suffocating your face with is literally lowering the O2 and increasing the CO2. Increasing the chances of cancer or bacterial infections with oxygen deprivation. Your wet mask with your bacteria is a breeding ground for infection moments after putting on the mask. Bianca Sheriff, thank you for protecting our rights of the American people. Happy holidays, and remember to gather like Gavin for Christmas.
Thank you for your testimony.
We're waiting
Come on up, ma'am.
to come up on that.
I like how she said gather like Gavin for
Yes.
Christmas.
They did.
I mean, that was perfect.
I mean,
It's perfect, though.
succinctly.
Hello, my name is Deneen Carter, wife, mother, and activist, fighting for our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I am a witness to crimes you are committing and the rights you are trying to take. Cameron Kaiser and Kim Saruatari, I will not sit by and watch you kill our kids, family, and the economy. I am a mom of 3 sons. One of my kids has struggled with suicidal thoughts from a side effect of a Tamiflu mist shot up his nose. It's no joke what's happening to our kids as a result of the current vaccine and medical intervention and mandates. I have to say that Eastern medicine is far superior to what Western medicine has to offer. There is healing. Our family is living proof. Ask me how we stay so healthy. Sadly, most are still living a lie and our children are paying the price. Cameron Kaiser and Kim Sarutari, you as a public health official, I hope you are familiar with the Hippocratic oath of first do no harm. In the past few years, suicide has increased, and these lockdowns are throttling the numbers full speed. You are killing children with these lockdowns. May God have mercy on your soul. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your.
Yes.
What? Yes.
I mean,
No, watching those. Sorry, I'm like multitasking and keep throwing stuff at me. Watching those statements today, it's hard to take. I mean, you don't think that that's what's going on at these meetings. When are they? Because we should advertise them a little bit more.
we run them on the show.
I know we run them on
Or
the show.
IE
but
Newswire. I mean, we ran the whole COVID, that from beginning to end. You can go look it up on IE Newswire.
okay, but when are the meetings so people
They're
can attend?
usually Tuesdays starting at 9:30. Sometimes they skip one or two, but they're usually at Tuesday at 9:30, where most people
1 minute.
out of their way to get there
Hi, Sean.
conveniently
Hi, Stephanie.
as they go through all this. And that's part of the criminality, whether it might not be an actual crime. It is an ethical crime that they do this to us. That they make people already who are just at their wits' end or can't make it, and if they are, or they're barely eking out a living, or they're
30
struggling,
seconds.
they have to take time out of their very busy day to go do this week after week, month after month. They are not letting up. I don't know why they are sitting on their hands. It is absolutely incredulous. We're going to come back with some
All
comments.
right, guys, here we go. 10
Bianco,
seconds.
Sheriff,
That's
we got some-
OEMSupplyKing.com.
OEM Supply King. We got it!
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Monument. 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire, joining our vast audience, video audience, that you can check us out on IE Newswire on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and share us all over your world. And also go and download the KMT 1490 AM app today for all your Android and Apple devices.
We're coming to you on a
Taco Tuesday!
Of that, going back and forth on this stuff. We had the first half hour, we did a psycho teacher of the year, who was out there screaming at people up in Oregon with the F word and the double middle fingers and the whole thing. And now she is on leave, as the reports have come, teacher on that. Why is it always seems to be the Antifa, the left wing, the mask wearing police and the whole thing are the ones that are psycho about all this stuff, or rioting, or whatever?
Because they're the ones that are the most scared. Fear will do some crazy things to you. Right?
We ran 3 clips of speakers at the Riverside County Board of Supervisors. I would encourage you to go look on IE Newswire on the aforementioned Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and just listen to the stories. We have a governor that does take action. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but I mean, he's taking the wrong action in each and every case, doing these lockdowns again, killing us, killing kids. San Bernardino County at least has moved in the direction of suing Newsom over this. Riverside County, cities, school districts continue to sit on their hands. I don't know why. I don't know how they can sit up there and listen to the testimony month after month, every week, and continue to put us through this when there is no scientific evidence that any of this lockdowns, masking, social distancing, closing down schools, restaurants, toenail clipping joints, whatever.
Toenail clipping joints.
Well, I don't know what you gals do in there.
Well, I put a laugh out there, so that's always a good thing.
They do nothing. Except be marionettes in Gavin Newsom's game. They've got to close, they've got to eliminate. First thing is, and I heard Kevin Jefferson say, well, we don't have any authority over the schools. Well, we know that. But you can, all 3 of the divisions.
Isn't Kevin Jeffries on the school board?
No, he's on the Board of Supervisors.
He's on the school board too?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can't hold 2 offices at one time.
You can't?
Elected offices. No. That's a story for another day.
Yeah. Carry on.
You cannot, the school districts, counties, cities, sheriffs, police departments, and whatever need to sit down at the table and figure this stuff out. I don't start, and I can say, okay, you don't have any ideas. I gave you a framework. Let's start with that and start picking it apart of how we're going to do it. There are tools in your legal tools in your toolbox that all of those agencies have. Constitutionally, whether it be United States, California, within their own either charter or general law cities, school district jurisdictions, or whatever. Like the lady said at the Board of Supervisors, gather like Gavin. Well, send your kids to school like Gavin. You're paying $20,000 a child for every child in K through 12 in the state of California to get this mess. I'm going to put the appeal out. I listed the government agencies. Now I am going to list the employee agencies. The police, sheriffs, firefighters, teachers' unions. You need to sit down at the table and figure out how we're going to get this done. They should call an emergency meeting every day in every school district jurisdiction, county, city, and whatever until they get this figured out.
Stephen writes in on Facebook, how long do you think the shutdown will last? And do you think you will see the same compliance as earlier this year, especially during Christmas?
You're not seeing it, but Newsom said it's 3 weeks, so when it triggered Sunday night on the 6th, at 21, that's the 27th. Basically, is Christmas is canceled. As far as Gavin Newsom is concerned. I bet you they're going to have a hell of a Christmas at the Newsom household. While you can't even invite your mother over, or whomever. And of course, I'm seeing the evidence. It isn't like March. I mean, when they put the lockdown in March, I mean, like the streets were almost empty.
I know. It was crazy. Like it was
I mean,
like a ghost town.
I haven't really,
it was nice.
Today and yesterday and today, I haven't really noticed any difference.
I haven't noticed anything. Especially in the stores yesterday. I went to Kohl's last night. There was people in there shopping.
Yeah, I don't see any difference of what people are doing on this, and I think people are finally realizing this is the vast majority, I think, are realizing this is the approach to this is BS. As Kelly Victory says, she's never said, I've never said the disease is a hoax or this or that. The disease is real. Our approach to it is unreal. Our approach to it is insane.
Neon Love Machine writes on YouTube, LA Sheriff said blank you to Newsom, and Brandon also writes in, who can afford Christmas and nobody has jobs?
Well, yes.
That's a good point as well.
One day the stimulus checks and whatever we are going to, that they've been giving to deceased people are going to run out, and everybody else.
Diane writes in on Facebook, I like her point, we're having a Christmas party and a feast for Christmas. Nothing has changed here in my home, so everyone, we're partying at Diane's house for Christmas.
Yes. Get
Thanks
ready, Diane. Chad Bianco put out a video that we ran yesterday. He was also quoted and put out a series of tweets. And you can go look them up. They're the links to the Desert Sun if you want to check them out and make sure that they are accurate, because they are, and I've read them, and I don't see that the Desert Sun is not quoting these accurately. Chad Bianco had a discussion this weekend with the Dr. Epstein, who's one of these mask-wearing lockdown yo-hos. Chad Bianco said in response to his exchange with Epstein, the vast majority of people are wearing masks. Most people getting it are wearing masks. If it was a health emergency, like you say as a doctor, you should be telling people to fix their immune systems, not wear a mask that arguably doesn't work. Bianco told the Desert Sun he believes if masks work, then no one would currently have the virus. health officials say people's use of the mask have dropped since the start of the pandemic. And
I love Chad Bianco. I agree with everything he says. I like his video too. That was a really good one.
Chad says, I wear a mask. Do I think it's helping? No. Bianco said, however, I think it might help a little, and anything that might help you should probably do. I think washing hand helps. You should wash your hands.
Agreed.
Either,
why are we talking about washing our hands?
If it's yes, the whole thing is stupid. I mean, I wear a mask. Do I think it's helping? No, but maybe it helps a little. Let's be decisive about this. It ain't working.
I mean, I agree with him. I mean, obviously, yeah, washing your hands.
I mean, that's why.
Why are we talking about
that's
washing
why we
hands?
don't. The mask thing is idiotic.
Yeah, but you know, when my mom was home from the hospital, I wore my mask. I always wear my mask around my mom and my dad.
That might be a big deal because of the situation
that's my thing of I'm going to do anything I can to not get my parents sick. That's my choice.
Yeah, there's a condition, and we've said, if you're in a nursing home or have a very serious health condition of that, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you would do that in that situation. That is like 0.0001% of what the issue is. Doing this stuff is not.
Edward writes in on Facebook saying his wife and him went to the grocery store and they went shopping. A large amount of people were not wearing their masks. He says that people are tired of this crap.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
But we know hand washing is good.
But yeah. Are you going to mandate hand washing?
But maybe it came off sarcastically. I was half listening when you were reading that, 'cause, you know. Can it have came off sarcastically?
Bianco continued his video without getting into details. The metric used for closure is unbelievably faulty and not representative of the true numbers and are disastrous for Riverside County. Bianco did not specifically which metrics he objected to or why he thought they were faulty. When asked by another user on Twitter if he was bothered by Riverside County data showing 135 of the county's 385 intensive care unit beds were occupied by COVID-19 patients, Bianco said that was a small number compared to the county's 2.5 million population. He tweeted, 135 out of 2.5 million people isn't as scary as you will believe it to be. We should close all businesses and make 2.5 million people stay at home because 135 people are in ICU. You couldn't care less why the other 65% are there. That's what I've been saying. And that's why I have made the appeal to Sheriff Chad Bianco. And you have the opportunity to come in here, open in, whatever you would like, to express this or talk this out, or lay a game plan to figure out what we can do. Like I said, I'm throwing out the first option or the big one so we can potentially walk it back from there. Deputize all of us. We'll stand at the border. Supervisors, withhold the money going to Sacramento if Newsom wants to play hardball. School districts, open up your schools. Say, what are you going to do about it? And then let's get on with life and see how it goes. Bianco, I will never take the vaccine. Bianco also wrote on Twitter he would not take the COVID-19 vaccine. In exchange with Epstein, he disputed the doctor's stance that the vaccination is key to immunity. I will make sure my immune system is firing on cylinders, Bianco tweeted. I will never take the vaccine and have zero worry of the virus. If you are not healthy, you should probably be in quarantine. Our officials have not done this, starting with Mario Cuomo in New York, who turned 5,000 positive COVID nursing home patients, which are in the 001% danger zone, and put them back into nursing homes. And we had the whole fiasco in California and Riverside County and everything else. We knew where the problem was. We should have dealt with it. We should continue to deal with it in that way. We are not overwhelming our hospitals, as we've shown by the statistics and as Chad Bianco has shown and everything else. There is no Black Plague, Spanish flu, anything going on across this whole deal. There is no justification for what they're doing. We do not have to follow unlawful orders or unconstitutional orders. I get back to the Kylie Gallagher lawsuit and the great Judge Sarah Heckman, which ruled that Gavin Newsom's executive orders are unconstitutional. When you get, when you get to this point, what else do you have? What other options do you have? You're either going to sit there and take it, you're going to watch your future, your kids, grandkids, and future generations roll right down the toilet bowl. And
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, it's great to do Twitter or say these things, but we're beyond this point. The time is now is a plan of action. We have to take action before one more kid commits suicide. For one more lady has to relive the horrors of being raped over this and the effects it has had. The damage that could be done, in my opinion, over a vaccine. I mean, what's sitting on your hands? All of y'all. I don't know how else to say it. There's another one I want to get to that we didn't get to yesterday. Fourth grader had a BB gun at a Zoom meeting. And the hysterical, sycophant, hissy fitters at the school panicked and said, "Oh, this is part of the classroom and you're bringing a gun into class and everybody's going to be scared and panic because they see a BB gun and blah, blah, blah." Suspend the kid for 6 days. Here's the report for WWL CBS News. Another unbelievable report that goes on.
Sessions added another chapter today.
The school board held a hearing to review disciplinary actions taken against the students, but that hearing was not without drama. Danny Monteverdi was there.
Naira, stop. All y'all shit. Naira, stop. Come on, man. Naira. Come on. This ain't the court, bro. We're looking to see the Naira, stop.
An angry Nyron Harrison marched himself and his son, Kamari Harrison, out of the Jefferson Parish Public School System boardroom nearly 6 hours after they arrived Friday. The appeal hearing was to determine if Kamari's 6-day suspension for having a BB gun in view of his virtual class back in September while in his bedroom should be overturned. The Woodmere Elementary 4th grader said he was moving it so his brother didn't trip on it. The Harrisons have argued their home is not an extension of Kamari's classroom. The school system stood its ground and refused to change his record. That, even after a new law was passed and named in Kamari's honor to deal with similar situations.
Are you aware that you got suspended because you brought your BB gun to school?
I didn't bring my BB gun to school.
School board member Simeon Dickerson, a former teacher, asked Nyron Harrison, Kamari's father, to think of how his teacher felt seeing a gun on her computer screen.
I know what a BB gun looks like, and you know what it resembles? A real gun. Okay? It resembles a real gun.
Ultimately, the school board changed Kamari's record to a 3-day suspension with 3 days of unexcused absence, but not before an excoriation from the board as all sides sparred with each other.
The only thing that's never happened before is no one's made it a media sensation. And the only reason that happened is because of COVID, because we're in a virtual world.
Reporting in Harvey, Danny Monteverde.
This is unbelievable. And they are at least trying to amend the law of that. You're home now because they forced you to distance learning and educate your kids in your school and in your home. And now they're trying to make the case that your home is now an extension of the classroom. Do you see the danger in this, Stephanie?
Well, it kind of is the classroom nowadays, unfortunately.
Your home
is now the classroom.
Is now being designated. Your home is your home.
And a classroom.
No.
Yes, right now it is.
Is your home. They have no right to tell you what and how and what you can have in your home. Period. If we have any semblance of a Supreme Court of the United States left, they will shoot this crap down immediately. Because if you lose your personal property rights, you're done. If they can come in or tell or dictate, do you want the government dictating every stinking thing you're doing in your house? That's what they're setting the precedence of this. It is not a public building. Nobody else has access to it. There is no reason. What I don't care if the dude had gun racks of them sitting on the wall. Plus, a BB gun is not a weapon, and we got to get over this. Oh, the teacher. Oh, that school board member that said, oh, think about what the teacher thought if she saw you. She thinks she's seen a gun. For crying out loud, what does she think she's going to do? Shoot her through the TV?
In defense of the teacher, thank God she said something, because what about the kid that committed suicide with a gun a couple days at the beginning of the week?
It's a BB gun.
I know, but still, they look a lot like real guns.
Why is the kid being suspended for 6 or 3 days or anything? Yeah, okay.
If he was holding it up, throwing it, like flaunting it, he should be.
No, it was sitting on the desk.
See, this is why I don't even talk with you.
No, let's deal with
what
what is
the
there.
Point?
No, what was there is the gun. In this case, he wasn't pointing it at anybody. He was moving it, and they're suspending the kid for having that.
Okay.
So you agree with? I mean, you agree with it?
Carry on.
No, I mean, I want your opinion.
I'm trying to give my opinion. You keep talking over.
Go.
Jesus.
Go.
I was saying, if he was flaunting it and pointing at the camera as if he was pointing it at the students himself or the teacher, he should be suspended. But just having it in the background, the teacher should have asked to move it out of the room, if anything, and then move on about the classroom. However, seeing all these class shootings and the kid that sadly committed suicide last week, I'm glad the teacher said something.
Yes.
But I think they shouldn't take it to this extreme.
That's where it should stop. Why is there any argument about that? This was not a situation where he was waving it around or doing anything. It happened to be inadvertently sitting there, not harming anybody. Yes, okay, what's going on? Fine. It's your home or whatever. This is what we do. You have no business telling us what to do. if you don't like it, this whole thing is, you cannot tell people what they can do in their own private property. Period. Or we're done.
Neon Love Machine writes in on YouTube, was he even playing with it?
No, it was sitting on the desk. He said he had moved it to get it out of the way of his brother or whatever. Or on his dresser or whatever. And whatever, as you're zooming around and you're putting... So what, you gotta hermetically seal off your home of this whole thing, of that. First thing, they shouldn't even be invading the privacy of your own home anyway in this whole thing. Much less hold any sort of control over it. There is no that. I could see in the case of, hey, what's going on, or what is that? And again, it was very appropriate. Yeah, okay, it's a BB gun. If you want me to move it, I will move it. Fine. Carry on. There was no reason to suspend him or make an issue of this for any reason. We'll be back tomorrow on a Wicked Wednesday. Till